What is going on, guys? Dave from Wake Up It's Football, bringing you guys the cover one. I'm playing high safety. You guys are playing the defense tonight, and we're doing a solo show. Ezra's not in town; he's on vacation, and tried to contact a couple of other YouTubers tonight, and they unfortunately weren't available. So we're gonna do a cover one, man. Let's do it, man. We're all playing defense. You guys are in the FanDuel comment box. We're going to tackle a couple of subjects before we get to some picks and things like that. We've got some injuries to go around. I believe C.J. Anderson is in the news right now due to injury, and a couple of various other things. People are saying that Ty Montgomery, great fantasy pickup for this week. If he's on the waiver wire, go ahead and pick him up. He's going to be playing that dual threat at running back and wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers now. They're very short at running back. He's a player to look for. But one of the teams right now that's absolutely hot, absolutely on fire, and doing it with a 39-year-old quarterback, Tom Brady, the New England Patriots, 6-1. And right now they look a little unstoppable. And it's funny to just every season the Patriots seem that they're the team to always, you have to go through them in order to especially in the AFC, in order to get to a Super Bowl. And right now, again, best record in the league at 6-1. The only loss they suffered was to the Buffalo Bills. I believe that was actually a 16-0 shutout. But nonetheless, looking like the best team in the NFL right now. Tom Brady's still getting it done. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Brady is still throwing and slinging the ball 5 years from now. He looks very healthy for his age. And he's putting up numbers statistically that quarterbacks haven't put up before. I saw a couple of statistics. I want to say it was last week. I'd have to find those somewhere. But some of these numbers he's putting up are crazy. I think he's the first quarterback to start the first 3 games of his season with X amount of yards, 6 touchdowns, or it was 9 touchdowns, no interceptions. It was some crazy statistics. And he's at 39 years old. We're still talking about him. It's just fascinating stuff. It's phenomenal. And I think the Patriots are definitely right now the hottest team in the NFL. They're the team to beat. And I don't think too many teams are going to be able to knock them off. Zachification in the FanDuel comment box. What's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in tonight. No red zone blitz tonight, for those who are wondering. It's again, no Ezra. He's not available tonight. I tried to contact a couple of other YouTubers. They weren't available. So we're doing a cover one. Again, I'm playing high safety. You guys are playing defense, and we're going to cover and tackle some topics going around the league. If you guys want to, we can get the picks right away. It's going to be a shorter show tonight. I'm going to try and kind of keep it short and simple. It's a little bit harder to do by yourself, but nonetheless, let's go to the schedule for this week. Tomorrow night, whether you like it or not, it's a stinker of a game. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Tennessee Titans. The Jacksonville Jaguars are not playing up to what the people wanted them to do, including myself. They're currently sitting at 2-4. They started the season out with 3 straight losses, and they're coming off of a loss against the Oakland Raiders that was 33-16 at home. So I don't think the Jaguars are playing up to where they could be playing. Bortles is definitely struggling. And if you drafted a guy like an Allen Robinson or Allen Hurns in your fantasy league, I'm sorry, but it probably doesn't seem like it's panning out right now. So again, Thursday night game, stinker of a matchup. I probably will have to go with Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. I think he's the quarterback out of the two that's playing better right now. So Tennessee for tomorrow night's game, that's who I'm going with. Going ahead to Sunday, you got the Redskins at the Bengals. Bengals and the Redskins, I'd say, have played some average football this year to slightly above average. Both teams have shown some bright spots, but both teams have definitely shown some weak spots. But I'm going to take the home team on this one. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals to edge out the Washington Redskins. Kansas City at the Indianapolis Colts. As of late, I feel like the Chiefs have kind of caught fire a little bit, and they are playing on the road, but I think they can take care of the Indianapolis Colts, who they're an average team at best, the Indianapolis Colts. Regardless of whether you have Andrew Luck or not right now, that team is average at best. I got to go with the Chiefs. Oakland at Tampa Bay. This is going to be an interesting matchup. You got a Jameis Winston. You got David Carr, two young quarterbacks going at it. Or Derek Carr, sorry. But I got to go with Oakland. Oakland's a better team right now. Seattle at New Orleans. This could be a good game. Depends on if both defenses don't play defense. But Seattle usually that doesn't usually happen. So in regards to who gets the edge here, it's tough because you got Drew Brees at home, knows how to put up points, versus Seattle, who doesn't tend to stumble up too much. But in recent history, as good as they have been, their weakness is playing on the road. So I'm going to have to go with the New Orleans Saints on this one. Let me just, before I continue with the picks so far that we've gotten to, getting to some comments, questions, and concerns. Zachification picks the Bengals to defeat the Washington Redskins. The dude says, hey, I'm a little nervous for the Green Bay Atlanta game. Going to Atlanta with top three defensive backs out. Hope they got a plan for Julio as the offense ties a wild card, might be a shootout. It's definitely going to be an interesting game, and we'll get to that as I work down the line here for these for the matchups this week. Green Bay and Atlanta are a little bit down the list, but it's definitely going to be interesting. XKT, any weight on Pete Carroll mentioning Vikings making a big move for an offensive lineman? I don't know. I didn't hear about that, so I'd have to probably go back and listen to what he said. So I can't really comment on something I didn't really hear, but I'll keep that in mind and I'll check it out. But a big move for an offensive lineman, I don't know who that would be. Unless you have any ideas, you can go ahead and throw those down. Working down the list for the schedule, let's get to the Detroit Lions at the Houston Texans, two teams who have struggled to get some wins this season. I want to say the Texans are 4-3 versus the Lions. What is the Lions record right now? They're 4-3 as well. All right, I did not know the Lions had a winning record up to this point, but you learn new things every day. I don't know, man. The weird thing about the Houston Texans is Brock Osweiler hasn't played up to $72 million. He's played to about, I'd say like $5. So DeAndre Hopkins has suffered as a result of that. The offense has suffered as a whole as a result of that. They haven't been able to put up the points. And the Lions, it's weird because they're a team who can put up points one week. They'll put up 30, 35 points. The next week, they can't even put up 15 or 16 points. So with the inconsistency of the Lions versus the lack of offensive production of the Houston Texans, easily this could be a game that just is a 15-14 game stinker. You might as well fall asleep watching this game. We don't know. But from what I've seen, I might take the Lions on this one. I like Matthew Stafford. I like that offense a little bit better right now than I like Houston's offense. So that's who I'm going to take. I'm going to take the Lions on the road. The New York Jets at the Cleveland Browns. Now, you want to talk about a stinker. I'm sorry, Ezra, if you're watching or listening or whatever. But this is a stinker of a game. Cleveland is at home. How many wins are they going to get? How many wins are they really going to get? This could be a potential win right here for the Browns. And I know I picked them, I think it was last or 2 weeks ago against the Titans, and I knew I shouldn't have. Ezra and I both picked them, but I'm going to take the Browns at home. Again, sorry, Ezra, but that's just the way I'm seeing it right now. Patriots at Buffalo. This is going to be a good game. If you have this game in your area, it's a divisional game. The Buffalo Bills hate the New England Patriots and vice versa. And the Bills shut them out in Foxborough, 16-0 earlier this season. So you already know the Patriots, Tom Brady, they want revenge in this game. This is a revenge game for the Patriots. You got to go with New England and Bill Belichick and Tommy B. Arizona at Carolina. Now, this is a game, again, Cardinals, Panthers, NFC Championship game last year. Both teams had great records going into this game. Unfortunately, one of the teams had to lose, being the Cardinals. Panthers went on to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Might have to go with Arizona. Carolina just there's it's hard to describe this team right now. They're like in the twilight zone. Okay? You're representing the NFC in the Super Bowl just this year, in the year of 2016, back in February, and right now you have one of the worst records in the NFL. Until they can figure it out, until they can show me they know what the hell is going on, you got to go with the Arizona Cardinals on this one. I'm going to check in with you guys in the FanDuel Comm Box, see what you guys are talking about down here. You look like Emra Khan. I don't know who Emra Khan is. I don't know. Is that somebody I got to Google? Who the hell is Emra Khan? Who's that? Let me see who that is. Let me go. Yeah, they on images? Google Images? I don't, not quite sure who that is. All right. Zachification. I don't think Seattle has any offensive linemen to make a big trade. Last I heard, their offensive line was struggling, so we'll see. The Jaguars owner is a possibility, but I hope not because I don't have the mustache. All right, moving on with the schedule. I know I'm going to try and keep this short tonight. It's kind of hard to do a one-person show, so bear with me, guys. San Diego at Denver. Another could potentially be a good game here. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos at home. Green Bay at Atlanta. Atlanta Falcons, as hot of a start as they got off to, I don't know what happened to them these last couple of games. They were 4-1. Last two games, lost to the Seahawks by 2, lost to the Chargers by 3. I don't think it's the end of the world right now for the Atlanta Falcons sitting at 4-3 overall, but a couple of mental lapses, a pass interference against Seattle that wasn't called on Julio Jones, arguably one that wasn't called last week against the Chargers, but they went for it, I believe, on 4th and 1 or something like that, and they weren't able to convert late in the game. I believe that was in overtime. It set up a field goal for the Chargers to win that game. So they could potentially have one more win than they do have right now, but this is going to be tough for the Packers to win this game because if Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are on fire, the Packers are going into this game with Sam Shields being on IR, Demarius Randall coming off of groin surgery, and Quinton Rollins being out with a groin injury. So you're having your top 3 corners out of this game. You're going to have to settle for Micah Hyde, who isn't that bad, but he's not a starting cornerback caliber type of corner. So you have Micah Hyde and I think potentially Gunter on the other side. So 2 weaker guys going up against the best receiver in the NFL. It's going to be a tough matchup. I'm taking the Falcons right now this week against the Packers. They're at home, but the wild card in this game, like someone mentioned earlier in the FanDuel comment box, it's got to be Ty Montgomery for the Green Bay Packers. He's going to have to do it all. He's going to have to run the ball. He's going to have to catch at receiver. And Aaron Rodgers has to snap out of it. There's been a couple of plays here and there throughout all of these games that I've watched where it seems like his pocket presence is not what it was. It's almost like he's hearing footsteps or seeing ghosts, and you'll see him panic. He'll kind of get jittery, and at times he'll either overthrow a guy, completely miss, or kind of just get sacked. So it kind of sucks. Ladarius Gunter was undrafted. Last season, he had a phenomenal preseason with the Packers. The Packers held on to him. And again, he had a good preseason this year, and he's been getting some playing time for sure, especially this season versus last year. He's been getting a lot of playing time because of the injuries. So, again, Ladarius Gunter on one side and Micah Hyde on the other. Clinton Dix and Morgan Burnett are still at safety, though. So We'll see. It'll be an interesting game, but you might have to lean towards Atlanta with all these injuries the Packers have right now. Philadelphia, Dallas. Man. This is going to be a heated matchup. Who do you go with? The Eagles' defenses look pretty good. And I believe the Dallas Cowboys are getting Dez Bryant back, which is an additional weapon for Dak Prescott. So it's going to be a good game. And this is a Sunday nighter. Everyone's going to be able to watch it. It's on NBC. But it's tough to really pick because the Philadelphia Eagles right now are a good football team. The Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, are a little bit better. But if I had to choose right now, defensively speaking, I like the Eagles and the way their defense is played a little bit more. So I feel like this is a coin toss, really, to be honest with you. I really want to take Dallas, but the Eagles' defense is telling me otherwise. So this is going to be a tough one. What do you guys think about this one? Eagles at Cowboys. XKT's taking Dallas. Raider Hazard's taking Philly. Man. All right, I'm going to take Dallas, but for the record, I think either team, this is again, it's a toss-up here. Monday nighter, Minnesota at Chicago. Got to go with Minnesota. The teams that are on buys this week, you got 6 of them. Los Angeles Rams, Miami Dolphins, New York Giants, Pittsburgh Steelers, San Francisco 49ers, and the Baltimore Ravens. So we have a shorter schedule, shorter lineup this week of games. But those are my picks. I started with the picks just so we can get those out of the way. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, discuss, throw them down in the FanDuel comment box. We'll get to those shortly. Looking at some topics again, C.J. Anderson for the Denver Broncos potentially could be out for a little while due to, I believe, a leg injury. What leg injury was that? I have to find it. And I also have to talk to you guys about the Fantasy Football League for those who are here tonight who are in that. I think Raider Hazard tweeted at me this week. Let me see how he did this last week. He dominated Nicholas Guzman, 115-56. Now, I didn't look into this, so let me see Guzman's team. He just got really unlucky, and it's funny because he started the season out at 6-0. He was undefeated, first in division by far. Now, Raider Hazard is in Ezra's division, and Nicholas Guzman is in my division. So you have the 2 best teams, I believe, going up against each other. Raider Hazard is now 6-1. He's on top of that division in Ezra's division. Nicholas Guzman is now 6-1 in my division. But Nicholas had an interesting week. Matt Ryan put up 12 points. David Johnson put up 17. And then it really went all downhill. LaShawn McCoy, I think, got hurt or was hurt. 1 point. Jarvis Landry, 9 points. Jordan Matthews, 1 point. Cameron Brate, 2 points. Terrence West, 1 point. So it just didn't really add up for him. 56 points versus Raider Hazard. His team put up points, man. Melvin Gordon, 29. Mike Evans, 21. Derek Carr, 12. Sebastian Janikowski got you 18. Vikings D got you 10. So you had double digits all over the place. So that's a little bit of an update on how that league's going. I actually played Ezra this week, and he actually beat me. So I'm 3-4 right now. Ezra is 2-5. And he beat me by a score of 110-84. So my team has been up and down, kind of inconsistent this year, so it's a little unfortunate. Oh, the 6-6 tie. The 6-6 tie. Zach Vacations talking about the Cardinals and Seahawks. I didn't tune into that game, and I'm glad I didn't. I had a couple other things going on, and when I woke up the next morning, I saw what the score was and how both kickers missed in overtime. And both were from inside 30 yards. One was like 24 and one was 28. How do you miss those, man? How do you miss those? I went outside one time at 2 2 minutes away at a school that's by my house. They got field goal posts up. I was kicking 35-yarders, and I don't even know how to kick. I think I was doing it in jeans. Granted, I didn't have big offensive linemen in front of me. I'll give you that. But it's astonishing to me. You get to some NFL news really quickly here. The Bills warn the Patriots they will retaliate for pregame antics. What is this about? Let's find out. Bills to the Patriots, respect our sideline and move on. This comes from ESPN staff writer Mike Brodak. I said it's going to be heated. Several Bills defensive backs said they will retaliate if a Patriots player runs through their pregame drills again on Sunday when the two AFC East opponents meet at New Era Field. Bills safeties Robert Blanton and Aaron Williams and cornerback Nikel Roby-Coleman were each fined for a pregame scuffle on October 2nd that erupted when the Bills players felt disrespected by Patriots quarterback Jacoby Brissett jogging through their warm-up drills. This is just another one of those stories you just read and you're just like, there's nothing really to see here, man. This is nothing's gonna come of this, you know. And even if it did, get your popcorn ready because it's gonna be an entertaining 5 seconds until it gets broken up. But this isn't much of a story here. It really isn't. Malcolm Mitchell. XKT says Malcolm Mitchell. What about Malcolm Mitchell? This week, I don't know about you guys, but I felt like this week the storylines just weren't there this week. It wasn't as big. I mean, I didn't really see anything noteworthy besides the fact that Brock Osweiler stinks. Terribly stinks. He's terrible. They overpaid on him big time, which goes to show you, you know, you can't really take chances on guys that you really haven't seen play, especially for 7-8 games. Now, it might sound like I'm agreeing with Ezra because Ezra's been on that bandwagon this whole time with Brock got overpaid and everything, but I always said that, you know, from what we saw, which was a small sample size, Brock didn't play too bad. But so far this year, he stinks. He stinks. It's hard to watch some of these games with Brock in at quarterback. What is this story? DeMarcus Ware's Super Bowl ring was found after police arrested multiple suspects in connection with his home burglary. That sucks. At least they found a Super Bowl ring. Adam Schefter, Dak Prescott is completing 73.1% of his passes on third down, which would be the best mark since Steve Young in the 1994 Super Bowl winning season. Dak Prescott is not getting enough love, man. You keep Tony on the bench. You keep Dak in. There's too much chemistry going on there with that team. You get used to Tony's chemistry for a long time. You know, maybe it's good to change it up. Maybe it's good that in preseason he damn near broke his back. As bad as that sounds, like last year when Fitzpatrick had that great season with the Jets, maybe it's good that Geno got socked in the face. I don't know, but it worked out for last season. Fitzpatrick put up career-high numbers. Granted, they didn't go anywhere in the playoffs and all that jazz, but the point is, I think they had a better season last year, and it would have been worse if Geno started. Same goes here. Tony Romo hurt. Dak comes in as a rookie. Doesn't even know what he's getting himself into. And he's got the Cowboys at 5-1, and that statistic right there. 73.1% he's completing passes on third down. That's beyond clutch. Okay, that is beyond clutch. Again, let me repeat, that is beyond clutch because when you need to make a play, granted, it doesn't say whether these plays are being converted for first downs. He could be completing them 5 yards and shorter. The point is he's getting the ball to where it needs to be in order to have his team convert on those third downs. He puts them in the best available he puts them in the best spot to be able to convert and continue drives. So it's a very interesting statistic. I hope Ez watches this so he can keep hating on Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a rich man's Kevin Cobb, except Kevin Cobb didn't go anywhere. Dak's already in the 6-7 games he's played so far this year has had a better career than Kevin Cobb has in all of Kevin Cobb's career. Dak is another Alex Smith. I don't know if I can agree with that yet. But granted, what's wrong with Alex Smith? What's wrong with Alex Smith? I'm reading your guys' comments right now, so just bear with me. Raider Hazard, why is Bortles struggling so much? That's a great question. I should probably ask him. Maybe I should tweet at him. Hey, yo, Blake, why do you stink? ESPN needs drama. Thoughts on the Raiders? Derek Carr, Khalil Mack, Amari Cooper, Crabtree. Raiders looking good, man. I've been a couple years early on the Raiders. Last year, I think 2 years ago, I was like, hey, watch out for the Raiders. But Ezra and I both said going into this year, I've been riding the Raiders the last couple of years, but it's looking like it's coming together this year. Derek Carr, Khalil Mack, both players could have been. Khalil Mack should have been the first overall pick a couple years ago when the Texans took Jadeveon Clowney. I'm on record on the Red Zone Blitz probably 100 million times saying this already, so you guys know. He should have been the first overall pick over Jadeveon, and I believe the Texans could have had a shot at getting Derek Carr as well. I think they could have potentially, traded up a couple of spots to leapfrog a team like the like the Raiders or whatever, or they didn't even have to. They could have stayed in place. I'd have to go look at the draft order again and figure out where all those picks were, but this Texans team could have been the Oakland Raiders, and the Oakland Raiders are looking a lot better right now. So, hats off to them. Dak equals Russell Wilson. I'd compare him more to Russell than Alex Smith. I'd say that because Dak also has some rushing touchdowns on the ground right now. Is Cooper and Crabtree the best wide receiver tandem in the NFL right now? Well, who would compete against them as a tandem? I can't really think of one that comes to mind. Who's a really good wide receiver tandem right now? You guys throw some down because I can't think of any. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple out there, but nothing comes to mind immediately. I can't think of any. I mean, statistically right now, Crabtree's having a good season. So is, Amari Cooper, I think doesn't Crabtree have more touchdowns? He might have more touchdowns than Amari. I have to look at that. But anyway, throw any more comments, questions, concerns that you guys have down in the FanDuel comment box. Again, on the cover one tonight, tackling some NFL topics with you guys. Just going to keep it short tonight. Keep it as a shorter show. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any other YouTubers on with me tonight, so I'm just doing it solo. Just kind of, it's okay to do things alone. Don't let other people tell you can't do things alone. Those people don't know what they're talking about. Let's see what's going on. Oh yeah, there was a leaping controversy in the Cardinals-Seahawks game with Bobby Wagner leaping over the long snapper to block Chandler Catanzaro's second quarter field goal. But you know what? This right here, I'm reading this on ESPN, how Bruce Arians was mad. Bobby Wagner didn't touch anyone when he leaped, which I think is legal, first of all. He didn't jump on someone to get over. And secondly, if you're mad about your kicker having your field goal blocked in the second quarter, you should have done something in the third and fourth quarter to score more than 6 points to take it into overtime and end in a tie. So don't be mad at anybody, Bruce Arians. Come on now. Anyway, your guys' FanDuel comment box, the FanDuel comment box. Thomas and Sanders it's possible, but is the production there? I mean, if they had a quarterback, yes. It could be Martavius Bryant if he was in the league right now playing with Antonio Brown. That would be an interesting duo to watch. What are your thoughts about a possible move to Vegas? I would hate for them to leave Oakland. They should be here. What do you think? I think what is there to do in Vegas besides gamble? They have the Strip. From what I've heard, they have the Strip. They have all the casinos and everything, and it's pretty active in a small area of Vegas, and that's about it. So they have a stadium out there, but I don't know the topography of Vegas. But isn't it hot in the beginning, like really hot usually? I have a map over there. I'm trying to see where Nevada. I mean, isn't it hot for probably a good at least September? Real hot? I don't know. Zachification regarding the Fantasy Football League. Who wants Carlos Hyde or Tevin Coleman in fantasy? I want to offload them. Hey, you know what? I want to offload. What's his name? I forgot his name. Good. I'm glad I forgot his name. I don't want to ever talk to him. See him talk about him again. DeAndre Hopkins. If anyone wants to trade for DeAndre, I'm willing to talk. Talk about the trade deadline, potential trades and rumors. Well, potential trade and rumor being the Seahawks looking for an offensive lineman. So far from what I've gotten, I've been at work all day, so I haven't been able to kind of keep track of that so far. If the Eagles get Alshon Jeffrey or Torrey Smith, that would help out Wentz. I don't see the Bears trading Alshon. I don't think that'll happen. And Torrey Smith, he's a guy you don't really hear about anymore. So I don't know he could potentially have his career resurrected somewhere else. He just doesn't have a quarterback to throw him the ball right now. But that's why they traded for Dorial Green-Beckham, the Eagles. They needed another big threat at receiver, and Dorial Green-Beckham, a little quiet so far this season. I want to say he scored a touchdown this last weekend, but a little quiet. He hasn't, has a lot of potential though. Seattle or the Vikings should try to trade for Joe Thomas or Joe Staley. I think the Browns have already come out and said that they don't want to trade Joe Thomas. And they're definitely going to need a Joe Thomas. It's funny to see all these quarterbacks get hurt in their games because Joe Thomas is such a good left tackle, but he's not the only guy on the line. I doubt the Browns trade a guy like Joe Thomas. The Vikings do need some offensive line help as well. Joe Staley, how old is Joe Staley now? Isn't he old? Was he like in his 30s now? 32. Seahawks wouldn't trade in the division. Joe Thomas wants to stay in Cleveland. XKT Vikings have no cap room unless they package a player with a huge contract along with the picks. Zachification. Torrey Smith is the worst wide receiver. Yeah. So appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I know again it's a solo show, but you guys are awesome. Thanks again for tuning in. David Martinez, Ayo, it's Mikey, Zachification, Andrew Kim, XKT. Who else? Am I missing anybody? If I missed anyone, Juan Pablo, the dude, anybody else that I missed or didn't mention, thanks for tuning in. I think I'm only gonna be on for a couple more minutes. I thought I would just get on, at least have a show tonight, talk to you guys, let you know I'm still alive and well, and all that good stuff. So just a couple more minutes. I did my picks earlier. If you guys are tuning in late, I did my picks earlier in the show. So if you guys want to see who I'm picking this week, once the video is uploaded, you guys can go back and see that. Who am I playing in fantasy this week? Playing Gridiron Seahorses. I'm playing Zachification. 5-2. Gridiron Seahorses versus 3-4. me. Right now, I'm projected to score more points, but I have to make sure I don't even know who I'm playing. I don't know if my team's on a bye or what. Half my team is questionable or on IR. Same with Zachification. Holy smokes. Your entire team is questionable. My goodness. Wow. That's insane. I've never seen so many Qs in my life. Anyway, so that's what I'm playing this week. Ayo, it's Mikey. Which head coach do you think will get fired first this season? Man, Gus Bradley's on a hot seat right now in Jacksonville. Who gets fired first? I know it's not off season yet, but already looking forward to the draft videos. I'll try to get you those draft videos. I'll talk about those in a second, but I'm trying to figure out which coach is going to get fired first. I don't know why Chuck Pagano comes to mind. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to say Chuck Pagano. I'm just going to go out on a limb. Just a coach that probably not too many people are thinking about. I'm going to say Chuck. As to my draft videos, every time I think about my draft videos now, since 2014 when they really exploded onto the scene, I get discouraged because there's this company who essentially shut down my videos because I was putting game tape in them. Oh, we own the rights to the game tape. You can't do this. You can't do that. So I had to take them down. And I felt as if the best quality of videos I was able to Chip Kelly's also a good name. Yes, Zachification. The best quality is to be able to show you guys what I'm talking about. You know, why is a defensive tackle? Why do I have him projected so high? Why do I have a guy projected here or there? You know, how does a linebacker attack the line of scrimmage? Receivers running routes. How do they catch the football? You know, where do they catch it? You know, how loose are cornerbacks' hips? What kind of plays? Everything, anything and everything, right? Just 5-second clips, 10-second clips. I put them in the video. Oh, no, can't do that. Sorry. So I had to take them all down, and have to re-upload them without game tape or any of that. And it wasn't as good for me, So I don't know. I last 2 years I was just a little discouraged. I still feel discouraged because I feel like my videos could be better than what they are. I don't know. They kind of chained me down almost and like, yo, you can't do this and this and that. So, but I will try and get you some draft videos this year. So far, what I've seen is not the year of the quarterback, more like the year of the running back. Watson, Kaya, Kaiser, if he declares, but none of them have been amazing or great. I haven't watched a lot of college football to comment on those guys yet. So I can't really say. I always I always start watching tape in December. I always start watching tape in December and January and February. Those are the 3 big months, especially when most teams are out of contention for the national championship. Start popping in the tape, start watching those guys, and just start cranking out videos. But last couple of years, I haven't really been able to do that. Hopefully this year, I'll try and make more time. So, but anyway, I'm gonna end up signing off. I've been on for I think about like 40 minutes at least. So, apologize I couldn't find a co-host tonight, but I thought I'd get on with you guys just for, as just a little bit, talk to you guys on cover 1. Ayo Mikey says, make a website and put the videos you want to make on there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I put it on a website or whatever. They'll find them. Because what happened was, with my draft videos, they were starting to get 30 and 40,000 views. I remember like Calvin Pryor and I think Derek Carr, all kinds of videos. I was just Blake Bortles and, guys where it's like, hey, look at this touchdown pass or look at this tackle. Like Calvin Pryor was a huge one because Calvin Pryor coming out of Louisville. He's such a hard-hitting safety. I was like, yo, I gotta show you guys this stuff, man. This guy's insane. This guy's putting his body out on the line every freaking play. And I showed a couple of clips with him. You know, you can't really see him because he's in the secondary. And next thing you know, here comes Calvin. Bam, hits a guy. You know, hits a running back. And I showed a couple of those, and people are like, oh, you know, Calvin Pryor, he's amazing, whatever. And then they just, from there, just picked up. And unfortunately, somebody who saw me as a competitor, it's like, oh, yeah, you can't do this. They, like, marked, like, 9 of my videos as strikes. They almost got my channel banned. I think if they had gotten 10 videos or something, like, with copyright strikes, I would have gotten banned. And I think they did, like, 9. So it was really stupid. And I had to talk to SB Nation, and like some legal person at SB Nation ended up talking to them, and they got my strikes removed. But like, it wasn't even a big deal. Like, that's why it's kind of been discouraging. So, and gifts is the same thing. They'll say you don't own the rights to the actual video or whatever. So it's the whole realm of copyright infringement and YouTube and what you post and what you can post. It's ridiculous. Like, oh, you shouldn't have that logo in your videos. You don't own it, you know, like that type of stuff. But then you'll see people who post a full song of some artist with lyrics, and they'll monetize it. And they'll get money for it, and it's a big popular song. They'll have millions of views on it, but that's fine. But, you know, a guy like me, I just want to show my subscribers a 5-second clip of a play here and there, just kind of a couple of plays throughout the videos. They don't let you do that. So it's frustrating because, you know, I don't care about the money. I have a full-time job. I'm making enough money as it is. I just want to be able to show you guys what I'm seeing. You know, this is why I like a guy. This is why I don't like a guy. And if you don't agree with me, that's fine. But I want to be able to show you guys that. And it's tough because I can't really do that due to copyright strikes or whatever. It's stupid. So anyway, enough about my rant and all that stuff. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Really do. Ayo, it's Mikey, Zachification, XKT, Andrew Kim, everybody else. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I can get somebody else next week. If not, I don't know if I'll have a show. Ezra's, I think, still going to be on vacation. So it'll either be when Ezra comes back, we'll start up the Red Zone Blitz, or I'll try to do a solo show like this again, or I'll try and get somebody else. I'll figure out, but I'll let you guys know on Twitter, so follow me there if you haven't already. Ayo, it's Mikey. You were right on OBJ and Khalil because you saw the tape. Those are my guys that draft, man. That was a year where I watched. Those were my 2 guys. I love those 2 guys coming out. And yeah, so anyway, enough about the past. Let's look forward. Look forward to seeing you guys in future Red Zone Blitzes and all that good stuff. So I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out.